And welcome back to I Couldn't Agree With You Less. It's just Jason and Simon.
For now.
A little segment we're doing before Andrew gets here. Off football, it's the end of the decade. We're doing our decade NBA teams. All decade, first, second, and third teams.
Yeah, we're deviating a little bit from
Yeah.
our normal strict football policy to talk about
Some basketball.
Some
because
NBA,
this
yeah.
is much needed.
Yeah, I think the only
Yeah.
other time we talked about basketball was the All-Star game
All-Stars,
last
yeah.
year.
That was pretty small. Simon,
Yeah.
when you think of this decade, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Uh,
Just the first NBA thing.
Warriors.
That comes Warriors.
the Warriors dynasty coming and ending.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
That's fair.
because it haunted me so much.
Yeah, it haunted a lot of us. So
What about you? What is your biggest takeaway?
The 3-point boom for
Mhm.
sure. Because this is a decade it just went off in. Steph
Right.
Curry.
I think ours kind of coincide.
Yeah, exactly. The Warriors and Rockets.
When
What
you
was
were-
the criteria you went with
Oh,
when you were choosing the list?
Well, I wanted to take. Well, some of them are really, really easy.
Yeah. Well,
And then when it got down to like the last few spots on the third team,
yeah.
I made a couple decisions that were half legacy, half what they did at the end of their career.
Yeah.
And
And you only took into account 2010 on, right?
Only
You didn't
2010
take
on.
anything into account. So,
no.
okay,
well,
I was...
so
okay.
here's so I'm gonna spoil something and say Kobe made a team,
Okay, Sam.
and
Did you
I-
put into account his 2010 title?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't at first, and at the end I was
also,
like, yeah, it's
I also
2010.
think it holds a lot of, like his 2010 being that was the second reap. That was the second
Yeah,
in
second,
a row.
yeah.
I think that holds the value of like 2 championships. In my
I
eyes.
that's definitely fair. I didn't put it as much because, again, towards the end I was like, oh, I guess I should count Kobe's title maybe.
Yeah.
But, so that just confirmed he should make one of my teams, but he could be out.
I wouldn't argue with anyone being out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I really surprised myself.
let's just
with a
dive
couple
into
of
it
these
then,
guys.
Simon.
Yeah.
So, the guard spots for the first team, I know we have the same ones.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry, James Harden.
Yeah.
There's really no
Pretty-
other choice for that, honestly.
The only other way I was gonna go. No. There's no other way.
No.
The first team was super easy for me.
Okay, yeah, same here. So Simon and I went a little different. I did 2 guards, 2 forwards, 1 center on all my teams. And he did 2 guards, 3
I-
forwards, or a center.
I guess this is where I kind of
Guard.
went a different way from you. Is I stuck more to just like who I thought the 5 best
Okay,
players were.
that's fair. That's
more
fair.
than positions.
I did a more of all NBA thing and just did
I-
regardless. Okay.
I kind of kept it. It falls apart a little bit
Yeah.
on the first and third team, and kind of the second team.
Okay. All right,
like
so
it's fun. Okay.
we got Curry and Harden. Curry 2 MVPs. Harden with 1. Harden's been like top 2 MVP voting
Yeah.
almost every year for the last like 5 years.
He's had it's crazy. He's been on the Rockets for like 7 years or something.
No, I know it's insane.
And he's been a superstar that entire time. So like
He's
we
been
can't
increasing his scoring every year except 1, which
I
is
can't
just
even believe
the most
that.
insane thing ever. You're improving from scoring 35 a game, which
that's like that
Crazy.
Michael Thomas stat where he just
Yeah.
improved his receptions
Yeah,
and his
just
receiving yards
crazy.
every year.
You think he's the best scorer since Michael Jordan, James Harden? Because I think he is.
I think Allen Iverson was a better pound for pound score. And I'm saying this because I just watched a video. I watched a video
Okay,
that went
okay.
over it was he took how did he do it? The player's height and weight and their like prime 6 years of their career and somehow gave them a pound for pound scoring like score.
Yeah.
And Allen Iverson was number 1 by like a wide margin.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it to him by a little bit. I can't really argue.
I
with
think
Harden.
Harden's size, like, I'm
Wow.
using Harden's size to his advantage. I'm just saying Harden's a better scorer partly because he's just bigger than Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
I'm not doing my pound for pound as much. And just his 3-point shooting kind of put it over the top for...
That's fair.
Because he's kind of AI with a 3.
Yeah. I can't argue against that really. I can't make a single argument against him.
So then the rest of the 2, what did you have?
Well, I think we both have KD LeBron.
Yeah. And then I think
And
you had
then-
Kawhi.
And I
right?
think you had Anthony
Yeah,
Davis.
I had AD.
Yeah.
So I would have had Kawhi if I wasn't doing the center thing. So
Yeah.
I would have had the same team as you. But
I feel like I have the most stereotypical team.
yeah, I've seen that. And if you're doing centers, man, centers actually fell really into place. Like I feel like there's only 3 really good centers from the 2010s. Honestly,
I'm gonna
And
guess.
There's not like any more that I can.
Is one of them Boogie?
Yeah.
He was one. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna spoil it.
What?
I'm not
Okay. AD Boogie.
Yeah, 80's
Dwight?
on my second team.
Like I feel like there's 3 good centers and you couldn't put like the Joel Embiid, Jokic,
Oh,
Karl Anthony
no.
Town type. So
No.
I felt like it fell into place really well for centers. But yeah, Braun, second half is just definitely
Yeah.
the best player of the 2010s.
Yeah, he probably made all decade team in the 2000s,
Oh yeah, I bet.
and
So
he'll probably make a decade team in the 2020s.
maybe the third team. Maybe okay, the third team.
He
team.
can pull
He could
like a
definitely
Kobe appearance.
Yeah, he could totally make a third team, especially if he wins a title in 2020.
Oh yeah.
Which is not
This-
out of the question at all. So we have that, no arguments. Let's go on the second team.
Yeah.
So who'd you have for guards?
I had Westbrook and Chris Paul.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I
but
felt
those
like
guys-
that was an easy one too.
Yeah.
Because
I can't. As much as I want to leave Westbrook off, I can't.
he won an MVP. That kind of like solidified.
3 straight years of triple double averaging.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
He
is-
won. He
I
was in a
think-
finals.
It's almost underrated now that he did that.
I agree
which
with
is
that.
insane.
I agree with that, Simon. I 100% agree. I'm a big Russell Westbrook guy before he went to the Rockets. I really want to include before he went to the Rockets. I want to emphasize that.
He it went from like I thought he was just so overrated when he was just getting those huge
Yeah.
numbers, but once he got to his third year and he was still averaging a
Yeah.
triple double, everyone was just kind of like I think he was 10th in MVP voting.
Yeah.
Averaging a triple
It was
double.
ridiculous.
Which is like-
if Luka put up a triple double, he'd be second at least. He might even win if
Yeah.
Luka put up a triple
And,
double.
I mean, if Giannis didn't exist.
and even if Luka put up a triple double and led the Mavs to like 55 wins, I feel like that might be enough.
Yeah.
That'd be enough to like
He's so
split
loved.
it a little bit. Yeah, Luka's loved. Russell Westbrook is in. Chris Paul, he just had a really solid decade.
just like
Nothing
a-
really stood out.
All around great defender and passer, playmaker.
It was on those Clifford teams that didn't accomplish much. But,
Yeah.
that wasn't his fault. He made that clutch shot against the Spurs that
Right.
won playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, at a certain point, you can't really do much more. So, yeah, Westbrook and Paul.
Yep.
Forwards, I got Kawhi, of course.
Right.
Kawhi's weirder because he's only really had, like, 3 or 4 good seasons, if you think about it. He's had 2 defensive players. He was injured that one season.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but, like, he's been so good for those 4 seasons.
He's been.
I feel like.
Yeah.
He's won an MVP. And then, who'd you have next?
I have Anthony Davis on this
Okay.
team. And then my other two, I had Dwayne Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Did he make?
Dwayne Wade was honorable mention for me,
Oh,
to be honest.
yeah.
Because D Wade really. Oh, so I was looking at his stats. He had like 3 pretty good years, 3 or 4 pretty good years. Like it was enough to. It was really close to make my team, but
Yeah.
you'll see who the guard was that replaced him that like I had to put over him.
Okay.
I had Paul George for my 4th spot
Yeah.
for my second forward. Did you have him?
I have him on my third team.
Okay. Paul George, I was really close to putting him. I'm almost reconsidering it now. Paul George or Giannis. Because Giannis had that MVP. But Paul George was just... When I thought about Paul George on those conference finals teams and the Pacers battling the Heat, like,
I couldn't leave him off.
He's been relevant way before like OKC and he had that really good first team.
The one forward I took over both of them was Carmelo.
Melo? Okay, Melo was my first player on honorable mention. He didn't
make a
I was
team?
really close to putting Melo in there, but the fact that the Knicks never really went anywhere, just the reasoning for my other guys being on there was better than Melo's. But I was so close to putting him. Even second team, he could have made it on.
I just put him because I think he's like a James Harden-like offensive scorer.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, it was just his team success wasn't good enough for me to boost
That's-
him. But
that's fair.
I almost had him second team over Paul George. And then center's Dwight Howard. I put him over Boogie Cousins.
Right. He's in my honorable mentions.
That's fair. And then
Do we get both our second teams?
I think so. Did you put all yours?
Yeah, Westbrook, Paul, Wade, Melo, and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, Wade I have some problems with, but like for the most part, I like that.
Okay.
Third team.
13.
Guards.
This is where my positions kind of fall apart
Yeah,
because my
fair.
guards are Paul George and Kobe.
That's fair. Paul George was a shooting guard for the first half
Yeah.
of this decade, so you can do that. I did Kobe, and then the guy I had to put ahead of D-Wade was Dame.
Damian Lillard.
I put Dame ahead of him.
Really?
Yeah. So I was looking at his stats. I was looking at basketball reference. I was looking at his stats. Let me pull these up real quick. Dame. Okay. Starting in 2013-14. 21, 21, 25, 27, 27, 26, 27 points per game.
I mean, that's pretty great. But the team success, though.
The team success was also part of the reason I put him that, because he had the two maybe most iconic buzzer beaters of the entire decade.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Two of the most iconic. He led. Portland would have been absolutely nothing. And I'd argue that if D-Wade was on those teams as good as he was in the early decade, they wouldn't have gone as far.
I could see that.
I would argue that. It's kind of a hot take. But
I'm taking Dwayne Wade just because of his championships. And
True.
early in the 2010s, he was still in that prime. He was coming off that.
He was
MVP.
really good. I just have to, since Braun and Bosch were on that team, since they went 2 for 4 with Braun and Bosch.
But they
and
still made the
D-Wade.
finals 4 years
They
in a
did,
row.
but with that team, it's bad if you don't. That's
true.
I don't know. He was just on a really good team, and I felt like Dame individually, and also on team. So yeah, I had Dame and Kobe, and then forwards.
Giannis.
Giannis, I had too. Yeah,
All right.
Giannis. I think he's a perfect third teamer because
Yeah.
he's just got really good. He's had 3 really good seasons, MVP, but
Yeah, he'll probably be on the first team of the next decade.
yeah, he definitely will.
I can't help but feel like you're gonna have major problems with my last two.
Let me hear them. I might not.
Well, Marcus Aldridge and Tim Duncan.
So I had LaMarcus Aldridge on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna put him in.
Mm-hmm.
I put Blake Griffin over both of them.
Yeah, Blake was...
Tim Duncan, he just wasn't good enough at the beginning of the decade. I get that he was having really bad stats and it doesn't reflect his value on the team, but they won one title, and that was kind of Kawhi. Well, Kawhi Leonard wasn't the reason, but he won Finals MVP. It wasn't because of Tim Duncan. It was just tough because I put Blake Griffin and Boogie Cousins on there.
Right.
Boogie was just an insane scorer for 5-6 straight years. And Blake, he finished top 3 MVP voting one year, which was almost good enough for me just to put him on.
I saw Blake on multiple second teams when I was looking at what other people... And I just don't...
When I think about that, for me it's just an issue of someone putting Blake Griffin over Paul George, which I think is arguable. Actually,
I couldn't.
Actually, I agree with you now. Because I keep forgetting Paul George's Pacer years when he led them to those really tough Heat series. And I know Blake Griffin wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I know Blake Griffin couldn't have led a team to do that. Okay.
I
would be
I
kind
just
of
can't...
outraged, yeah.
I couldn't force myself to put Blake on.
I do. I agree
don't...
with you on that.
I've just never been super high on him.
That's fair. He hasn't really had any insane years, but he was just consistently low 20-point scorer.
Right. Very good. He was in my honorable mentions.
Yeah. So honorable mentions, Melo's first. It was so tough to not put him on this list.
Yeah, for
It's
me it
really
was
tough.
so hard to not put Dwight Howard.
Okay, yeah, I can get them. He really only had a couple good seasons at the beginning of the decade, but I still put him second team.
And I also had Clay and Draymond honorable mentions.
Clay and Draymond. So how many honorable mentions did you do?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus Luka Doncic. And that was just
Simon. Okay. I'm not gonna waste my energy on that, but I think you know where I stand on Luka being on the all-decade list.
I'm pretty much kidding with that. I did make his name in all capitals to show that I was kind of joking.
Okay.
But he's great.
So yeah, my honorable mentions were Melo, D Wade. I put Kyrie Irving on there. He never had a chance of making it, but I just had him honorable mentions. And LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Love. I put Kevin Love. And then Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, Clay were kind of in their own category. Like, they're like, I don't know. They were good, but they weren't going to make the team. I just feel like Kevin Love's Minnesota years are super underrated because, like, it was an awful team, but he was putting up, like, 30 and 20s, like, on a pretty solid basis. So, I don't know. I just wanted him in there.
A guy I kind of wanted to give the Kobe treatment was Dirk.
Dirk, I was also thinking about... I think it's funny that neither of us put him in honorable mentions because...
I put Dirk in the honorable mentions.
He did? Okay. He won a title in the decade. He carried a team to a title, but, like...
Yeah, but nothing...
He really took it off after... He took the wheels off the train after that title. Like, I was looking...
He did one of the most impressive things ever, and he just kind of settled down.
Yeah, and I respect that. Like, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just he won't be on the all-decade team from my list.
Yeah. He made it through most of the decade. Which is
why
I almost kept him on, because Kobe retired in 2016 or something?
Yeah, 2016. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't have too much trouble putting this together.
No, my main Paul George versus Melo was tough for me.
That was a tough one too.
And where to put Kobe and Wade.
That was same here. So when I was doing Paul Melo, Paul George's first team last year really helped a lot because Melo never made a first team.
Oh my god, I forgot Paul George was like an MVP candidate last year.
Like third or fourth last year. I think he was third in MVP voting last year.
Not gonna lie, I forgot about that when I was making this list.
That was opposite for me. I kept forgetting about his Pacers years. But yeah, that combined with the team success of the Pacers really had to put him over Melo for me. Mm-hmm. Because his best year was better than Melo's best year by a lot, I felt like.
Man, you're kind of convincing me to switch him. I totally forgot about last year.
No, a lot of people forget about it because he kind of ended it with the injury.
And Damian Lillard just
Damian Lillard
destroyed
ended
him.
the Thunder for a while. So
I wish we could live in the hype that series had forever.
Yeah, I know.
That was so fun.
That was a good series, but I wish I watched that last game.
Should we make some predictions for the all-decade 2020 team? Who we think?
I think we can. I think we should.
Let's just not say Giannis
and Luka. No, let's just leave those out. I think AD will be on there. He's gonna have the first 5 years of this year's gonna be really good. Yeah. I think he'll be on there.
Will this year count towards?
Once it goes to 2020. So like if he wins a title.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if he wins he gets like third MVP voting, first team All NBA, that'll be it.
Sure.
Kawhi, what do you think the chances are for him?
He's what, 28?
He's 26 or 27, one of those two.
He's kind of young.
He's kind of young. If he wins a title this year,
if he wins a couple titles, and he's still playing at the end of the decade.
Ooh, so he'd have to be playing when he was like 37 almost.
Yeah, if he.
I feel like it'll be kind of a Kobe thing. Like he'll win a title at the end of this decade. He'll have like 4 or 5 really good years. Right. So I think he'll be second or third team.
I could see that. LeBron.
That's an interesting one actually because
he would be. Oh, okay, so he's gonna be gone in 10 years.
If you're yeah. He's definitely
He'd
gonna
be like 47.
He wants to wait till his son, but I feel like he won't wait. So the case for LeBron making it: he wins a title this year. He's like top 5 MVP voting.
Yeah.
He has what is he like 33 now? 34.
I honestly thought he was like 37.
Oh no, he's 34.
Okay.
So he has 3-4 more quality years.
Okay, I
think he has that in him.
I misjudged his age.
Okay.
I thought he was going to be like a 50-year-old.
I think he'll have like 4 more like quality years after this.
And I can see a 41-year-old LeBron in the NBA.
Oh, I think he will play when he's 41. So, yeah, I think he'll be like a second or third teamer back then. DeAndre Ayton.
No. No way. Maybe Trae Young.
Just had to ask. Trae Young, Devin Booker.
Ooh,
It's interesting.
I feel like his career path is heading down to like the Damian Lillard route.
Really,
Super good score on a not great team.
really. I think Dame had a better team around him.
That's fair.
He had the C.J. McCollum, and maybe DeAndre Ayton will be. He probably will be as good as C.J. McCollum in the future, but
Order these three.
yeah, in the future or now.
Starting a franchise.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, that's really tough. Actually, I like Ben Simmons a lot. I'm very tempted to start off the list with him. You know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna say Ben Simmons because he's just in the wrong. The thing about him is if you just surround him with shooters, then that's such a better environment. Like the 76ers might be the worst team for him to be on right now. I think people are just seeing him. If you're smart about it, you just put some shooters around him. Like he's really good, I think.
Right.
So I'm just a big Ben Simmons guy. Yeah, I'd have Ben Simmons 1, Mitchell 2, Tatum 3 because Tatum has a high ceiling, but I don't know if they'll get there.
I would go Mitchell, Tatum.
Mitchell, Tatum, Simmons.
I'm really not a Ben Simmons guy.
I'm big on Ben Simmons because I think we're seeing the worst case scenario of his career right now.
I agree with that, but I also don't think he can score in a good situation.
He's like pretty decent at driving. He doesn't really have a free throw, which is another big problem because people I don't know. There's a lot wrong with Ben Simmons, and I totally get that. But I think if you just put him if you put him in the Buck system, you just replace him with Giannis.
Right.
That's a pretty nice. Okay, and well, there's problems with that analogy. If you take out like Eric Bledsoe and Giannis, you put him in. He has all those.
There goes Aaron Jones. There goes Aaron Jones. There goes Aaron Jones. There goes Andrew's championship. Oh no. So we just watched Aaron Jones run for 56 yards and bury Andrew.
Andrew about to win $200 in the Dynasty League. Him and Simon are in.
And
in the
he
championship.
just lost it.
So he'll still get some money,
but no first.
Yeah, when you hear Andrew later this podcast, he's not gonna be very happy. It's gonna kind of sound like Eeyore. If you think that's what I imagine it sounding like.
We were so the TV right now is at an angle, and it kind of looked like Aaron Jones wasn't really sprinting from my angle. It looked like he was kind of just like jumping. It was so weird.
Well, there goes that. Don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, no more thinking about that.
And there goes the Packers game too.
Looks like Packers might be getting the 2 seed.
Yeah. Wait, do they have the same record as the Saints right now?
I don't know. But I don't think the Saints... Is it possible for the Saints and the 49ers to get the 1 and 2 seed?
I thought so, right? Don't they have the same record as the Saints right now?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm not gonna look right now. I'm
we're talking
on basketball. All decade teams. Anything else for that? Boldest prediction for the next decade, Simon?
Oh. Is it a bold prediction to say John Morant at this point? Because he's looking like a...
I think that's fair. I think that's very fair, actually.
Maybe I'll...
Just in general, for the next decade.
Okay. Steph makes it again. In the top 2 teams.
Oh, really? For, like, the all-decade team?
Mm-hmm. I think he has a second half of the career...
Really?
Surge.
I can see that. I can see him, like, when he's, like, 36 and older. I think he can just be a catch-and-shoot guy.
I think his game's going to age really
well. I like that. I actually really like that. I think they're going to have some rules for free throws regarding, like, James Harden and free throws.
You think they're going to change it?
I think they're just going to change, like, driving to the basket and being able to just flop yourself in.
Right.
Like, the landing zone of threes. Just, like, stuff that James Harden's kind of, like, poking in the system that... I think they're gonna just change those in the next like 8 years or so because it's super confusing. Anything else? Your team of the decade for 2020.
My team of the decade, okay. Well, easily Luka and Giannis.
No, team of the decade. Like what team?
Oh, what team's gonna just dominate?
Yeah.
Picking between the Bucks and the Mavs, honestly. That's tough.
I'd go Mavs.
I'm gonna go Bucks because I think the Mavs kind of screwed themselves with Kristaps. They paid him so much. I think this is their team, and I don't think they're gonna. I think the Bucks can grow.
I feel the opposite. I feel like the Bucks right now, Middleton, Bledsoe, Giannis. Right now with the cap, they can't really get much more than that.
This is the best they're gonna be.
Yeah, I think this is like kind of the Bucks. Like you're not gonna see them getting a second star ever. But the Mavs, I think it's set in Luka and Kristaps, but the rest of their team, like. I think they could improve on that because
they could.
The Bucks right now, the role players are really good. Like they all have a good night.
What if they signed a Kevin Love or something?
Yeah, exactly. Like the Bucks or the Mavs. The Mavs. See, yeah, so signing like that because they could get like either a third really good player or just like improve the rest of their roster. So
right.
I don't know. I feel like the Mavs.
Is a dark horse team the Pelicans?
No, it's not. I mean, no. I mean, in the sense that it's a hot take to say that. No, it's not. I feel like that's a good. I feel like I worded that wrong.
What if all of their young assets hit?
I think they will. I think when Zion, Brandon Ingram, Jackson Hayes, Lonzo.
So I'm not sure. You're saying Jackson Hayes over Lonzo?
Well, I'm just in terms of like ceiling. I'm not sure Lonzo like. I don't know what he's going to change to make himself much better.
I think he can be...
I've always kind of liked Lonzo, but...
I think he can be the level of contributor that Ben Simmons is right now.
See, the thing... Ben Simmons is giving, like, first team all defense. Lonzo is, like... He's a solid defender.
I think he is a very good defender.
I just feel like... He's okay, Ben Simmons is... in my opinion, a much, much better defender. But just the size he has at point guard is, I don't know. I just really like big guys that play point guard. that's if you wanted to sum everything I like about Ben Simmons up, I just
he's
like
a big guy and he plays point guard.
That's all. That's what I like.
That's fair. I guess I can't argue with that.
You can't argue. All right. That wraps it up for All Decade Team.
Right. We'll be back shortly.
We'll be back shortly with our football segment.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one.
With Andrew. You'll hear that right now. And then I'm going to put them in together. It's going to be so... All right. So we just talked to you about Simon and I's basketball All Decade Teams.
Mm-hmm.
This episode...
I think we should say really quick that we're joined by Andrew, who's coming off of...
Yeah, we are done. Okay, let's just let Andrew talk for a little.
Yeah, what happened?
Simon and I are in a money dynasty league.
That's just a dynasty league. Most of them are for money.
And I went into today up 35 points against Aaron Jones and Stephon Diggs. First half, I was looking okay. I was still up like 20-plus points. And I was like... I can pull through. I'll be fine. Aaron Jones rips a 50-yard touchdown. Well, I'm at work in Subway and screaming at my phone because I was streaming the game illegally off Reddit. It was so painful. I'm scarred. I'm like mentally not okay right now. It's going to take me a couple weeks to recover, if I ever recover.
All right.
I have no more words.
All right, we got that out of the way. I felt like it was the elephant in the room, you know?
Yeah, we just had to get through that.
All right, so a little later on, we're going to give our all-decade fantasy teams.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely stay listening for that. But right now, we're going to do our awards. We're going to do a little awards show for the fantasy season.
It literally wrapped up probably 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Season.
Yeah. So... we're giving our fantasy awards. Let's start out with fantasy MVP. My pick's Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Did we all pick Christian McCaffrey?
No, I picked Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I'd pick Lamar, and then I didn't realize that Christian McCaffrey had more fantasy points than Lamar Jackson, who's having the best quarterback season of all time. So you have to give it to Christian McCaffrey. That's insane.
I agree. I saw a stat that he had 126 more points than the second running back.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Second best season all time, behind LaDainian Tomlinson's legendary. This is better than that David Johnson year, that Todd Gurley year, that Those 2
yeah,
years.
those are kind of the pantheon years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than those. And he's the only running back to ever have 2 100-yard reception seasons, and he has done it in 2 of his first 3 years.
It's crazy.
I didn't see this coming.
No injury miss.
So my counter argument
Yeah.
for Lamar is that you drafted Christian McCaffrey with the top 5 picks.
That
Guaranteed.
would be the argument.
That's
No,
the only
that's
one.
fair.
And then Lamar was drafted so late. Like
It's
I
right. It
got
is
him-
most valuable player, I guess. But,
And so I look at like the draft, like how much did I pay for this guy to break out? Because
that's fair.
when you drafted Lamar late, you were like, okay, I'm drafting him for the rushing yards that he's going to get me.
Yeah.
So you
Right.
figured you'd get those, but he passed so bad last season.
Yeah.
Like his passing was horrid, and then now that he blew up, now he's throwing dots and doing all this crazy stuff.
Right.
That's fair.
That value is pretty insane.
I can't
But-
argue with the
Yeah,
player.
I mean, you can argue either way, but both were
Yeah,
amazing
true.
this season.
And then also in consideration could be Michael Thomas, but
I think
like,
he has to.
it's tough to argue him over like. How would you argue him over Christian McCaffrey? Like, what angle would you use?
I don't know. It's just
It's tough.
it's just very impressive what he's
yeah,
doing.
it's really impressive.
He broke the
Like
reception
Josh
record in 16 games,
145. That's crazy.
yeah,
so he could break 150.
in 15 games. Right.
Or in
17.
Or yeah, well, technically 15 because of bye week.
Well, I get in 15 games.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You're right. Yeah.
Breakout
Okay.
player. Sam and I both have Chris Godwin.
I did want to say one more
Yeah.
thing. Where would you guys take Lamar in single quarterback leagues next year?
I wouldn't touch him because he's going to go too high.
That's what I'm thinking.
I-
like Patrick Mahomes.
but
I don't
I
think
think I would take him.
I'd
early,
rather grab
mid-second.
Josh
Really?
Allen later.
If I would take him. I think I'm changing my strategy this year. I'm gonna take QBs early.
because you
But
did
I
it,
know
not taking Mahomes.
Mahomes or Lamar, I will take early next year. Just saying.
So would you take Derrick Henry over them?
No. I mean, yes, I would.
Okay.
I would take Derrick Henry
Okay.
over them.
See, but why would I spend a ton of draft value on Lamar when I could get Josh Allen a little bit later?
See, that's what I thought with Jared Goff, but it never
Well-
goes exactly how you planned, Andrew. And
Or
okay,
James
Josh
Winston.
Allen. Josh Allen
mean,
also is not.
In another league, I grabbed Kyler Murray late, and that worked out pretty well for me. He
I
ended
know,
up as like a
but
top,
it's like when
top
you
10 quarterback.
Right.
But
Lamar, I don't know. You're 90. The only thing that could get in his way is injury from like having the best quarterback season next year. Like unless he gets injured
Or
next
Patrick
season,
Mahomes.
dude, I don't even know because the rushing angle of it makes him so much better than Mahomes.
well, I mean,
I don't know.
I would argue that if Josh Allen gets a good wideout next season, he's a top 5 quarterback for fantasy.
I think that's fair, but I think Lamar is still like very confident.
and then I would see myself getting Josh Allen way cheaper.
I'm just saying this is. I'm not saying it's a strategy.
That's
you should
my
use.
my whole belief.
I
Is
just
trying
want-
to get like a breakout quarterback.
I just
cheap.
want a good quarterback. I've had a string of years where I haven't had a consistent quarterback, and I just want that. So, breakout player of the year, Chris Godwin for me.
And me.
Simon,
I said Darren Waller to change it up a little bit
I like that.
because
that's fair.
this year was like last year. The whole tight end landscape was so horrible. Like there was no
Yeah,
one.
it was
you could
really just
grab.
3 good
It,
guys.
And
it
then-
felt better this year than last
It's
year.
felt way better.
Mark
this
Andrews,
year.
I want to add to breakout player
You
with
had-
Darren Waller
you
because
had
they both had
obviously-
really good years.
Ertz and Kelsey, and then Darren Waller, and then Hunter Henry performed pretty well when he came back, and then
I had Hunter Henry and
Austin-
Mark Andrews, and I
Austin
kept having
Hooper.
to decide.
Was,
Yeah, Austin Hooper
who was
really
a top
good.
option.
He was.
So
Hunter Henry was really inconsistent.
yeah, I
so
know,
I was
but
frustrated with that. But yeah, he's definitely a good tight end now. Any other candidates? Breakout player? Aaron Jones probably.
Aaron Jones.
Derrick Henry.
Both
I-
of them
Derrick
showed
Henry.
flashes last
For me,
year.
Derrick Henry no, but like in general,
Um,
I feel like Derrick Henry would be breakout.
Where would you guys take Chris Godwin next year in terms of wide receivers?
I don't love taking a wide receiver that also has a just as good wide receiver on his team, so I probably would not take him.
I want to see what Tampa Bay does with Jameis Winston after this season.
I hope they keep him. Just
They're
for
I think
fantasy
they're gonna
points.
keep.
If they
Yeah.
keep him, like as long as Tampa Bay's defense is bad
Yeah,
and they force Jameis to throw the ball, Jameis can have 2 really good wide receivers putting
Yeah.
up really good numbers as
I mean,
long
he
as he
did.
has to throw it,
Yeah,
and that's what
he
he's
did.
done for his
Yeah,
whole career.
I just don't like it.
And
as
so,
much.
like-
I think he's
So
still
like,
will, yeah.
as long as that situation doesn't change, I think you can take both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin easily in the top 10. Easy.
Oh, easily in the top 10. I'm
Easy.
thinking like
I mean,
does
And
one of them.
You're
push
talking about
top
top
5?
10 receivers, right?
yeah.
Okay. good.
I mean,
I'd say
Mike
they're top 10
Evans
too.
to me is like a late first round pick, early second round pick. At this
I wouldn't.
I think
say
I would still put Chris
I-
Godwin a little bit higher because I think
I'd take Mike Evans
he's
over
getting
Chris
more
Godwin.
looks.
They're
I
both
think
great.
it's- Yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard to choose between.
Biggest draft steal. Biggest steal from the draft. I said Lamar Jackson, just because he put up insane numbers.
Right. What did I put?
Austin Eckler.
Oh, I did.
It's
Yeah,
Austin Eckler. Yeah.
I agree with
It
that.
depended on what you had your draft.
I agree with that.
It's my own
yeah.
take, and I agree with it.
Andrew, I'm not sure if I agree with Andrews though. Miles Sanders.
It took.
I don't like that really.
It took almost the entire year to pay off, but if you had kept him,
But I feel like he was still being drafted like in like the mid rounds, like not even late, like in like the 4th, 5th rounds. You were seeing Miles
Both leagues that
Sanders
I got
go.
him in, I got him super late.
But I like a
And
lot
so,
of the
like,
times
so,
when I
like-
see in like mock drafts, it'd be like Miles Sanders in 4th or 5th round,
then-
and he didn't even like. I don't.
Oh, he completely broke out by the end of the season. So I feel like he's going to be a good value next year because people don't really know the name too much, and he's still getting.
oh, people will know the name. Well, Sanders is gonna. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna go through like a major hype phase over the offseason.
I think so too.
I think he was a big
Uh,
steal.
I think Austin Eckler, he was like a top 5 back that you got.
He was like
11th round
number
or
3.
something.
Yeah.
He was insane.
It was ridiculous. And even when Melvin came back,
True, he was still really producing. Yeah, 2 solid guys on the list.
Oh,
Biggest
Jason's
bust.
taking shots.
No, Miles Sanders is not a draft steal.
I
I'm not
can't
gonna-
say I agree with Miles Sanders being a steal.
So biggest bust. I had David Johnson because it's like it's insane what happened in this year. Like it's
That's
incomprehensible
ridiculous.
because you had this 3-year track record of being a huge fantasy stud, just like a real
What?
life stud.
Or like,
And he started the year
Yeah.
as like a top 10
he
running
started
back.
it good. He started a really good start, and then he got benched for
what happened?
Kenyon
Kenyon
Drake.
Drake.
There's something else.
Yeah,
had to
I never
happen,
saw
though.
any
There has to be
explanation.
something
Like,
else.
what
He
was
got
the
hurt
explanation?
for a period of time before they got Drake.
But
Yeah,
like when he was healthy, like
Well, I mean, now if you're the
don't
Cardinals, do you trade Johnson now?
yeah, Kenyon Drake's been doing so
Yeah, I know.
well.
You
So-
can't trade him though because he just got that huge new contract and no one's gonna want him.
Yeah, he's at an all-time low value. Like it
Okay,
wouldn't
guess-
be very good trade value, especially since people.
I get this at this point. It's like no risk to go get David Johnson.
Oh yeah, like the like market for running backs. Like you probably have to trade like I think a 3rd rounder almost for a running back now. I think
if-
DJ couldn't go for more than a 3rd.
He might be in the cut territory at this point.
Really?
If they
Is he
can't
that
get
good?
anything for him, because
Yeah.
his contract is so like
That's
he's like
true.
a top 3 paid running back right now.
That's true. That's
And
so
who would
weird.
trade
That's-
for that?
I know who would trade for that. There's no point. You just get like in the
he gets
4th
cut,
round.
and then he gets offered a contract in free agency. Is that what you're?
Maybe.
What?
What else happens?
It's
So
He
what's
just,
the
like,
best
just plays the
team
backup?
scenario that David Johnson goes to?
Tampa Bay or Kansas
Or-
City.
Houston.
Houston. Well,
Houston. I like Houston.
Houston.
I really like Houston.
okay. This is just selfish. I really want Jonathan Taylor to go to Houston.
I like that
Okay.
too. I just
Just
Yeah.
like that Carlos Hyde role.
yeah.
I
I
mean-
want that more than anything right now.
That's fair.
I mean, like I can see Houston hasn't had a good back since
Aaron Foster.
Aaron Foster, and then like
Aaron Foster, who will come up again later in this podcast. So biggest bust. Who do you guys have? Okay.
I think I know.
So
who I
Simon.
am. I know who I am. Juju.
no, you have Odell. I have Juju.
Oh.
Get out of here.
So
So I'm not looking at the sheet right now.
I forgot Simon enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, just.
I had Odell.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think that's pretty self-explanatory. He was just like,
Yeah, Matthew Berry hyped him up to have one of the best wide receiver seasons of all time.
for me, it was that combined with the fact that like he was healthy most of the year, and you always felt like you kind of had to start him.
That's true.
So he let you down in
That's
your
true.
lineup every week.
Very true. Andrew with Juju.
I had Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah. Anything you want to say?
I mean that it's very self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I
He was
mean,
like the wide receiver 6.
they have a guy named Duck Hodges starting at quarterback right now because their backup quarterback is hurt, so they're on their 3rd string. I didn't need to see that, Simon.
Aaron Jones is on the TV wearing.
Yeah, they're showing. Oh wait, there's this 50-yard run. Oh.
Aaron
Oh,
Jones.
there it is.
I
Yeah.
love Aaron Jones.
No, I'm in pain. Anyway, okay, back to
Juju.
it was just not a good football season for me as a Steelers fan.
I mean,
And
you
the
kind of
fantasy-
overachieved though. So
What?
you kind of overachieved though as a team. So the Steelers,
Yeah, but imagine if we had
they're not
Ben.
good enough to be in the
If we had a
playoffs.
good offense with the defense we have now.
Well, yeah, but that's like saying if
We
we have, if we have half the puzzle completed.
Well, if we had Ben, if we had Big Ben healthy, we'd be really good right now.
Oh my god. The
But
Lions had
anyway-
a good
anyway.
defense this year. They would have won a lot more. All right.
Okay, so yeah, Juju had a horrible quarterback situation.
I agree. I think he's going to be a bounce back.
but-
player.
We'll talk about Juju later. I have some thoughts on him still.
Well, please share.
Now?
If you want to.
Okay. So I'll just talk about it.
Okay.
So now we have the Amari Cooper Mr. Inconsistent
Oh,
Award.
yeah, the Mark Cooper isn't a part of this year.
He isn't though, because he had a solid year. He
Yeah.
had a really good year. But this is back Raiders Amari Cooper. So I went James Conner. It was just super frustrating. He wasn't getting the carries. He wasn't getting the workload. He was getting injured all the time. I didn't know if he'd be injured or playing until game time. He had 2 really good games, or like 3 really good games that kept him in it. But James Conner was just super frustrating.
I agree with that. I picked Alvin Kamara, who's like my favorite player in the NFL. It wasn't that he was bad. He was kind of bad. He got a
Yeah.
high ankle sprain, and then he just wasn't really elusive. And Bad Steelers just came
God,
up on TV too.
Let's turn off
That's
the TV.
crazy.
No, everything is painful right now. God.
He just wasn't like the top 4 pick that you drafted him to be.
Yeah.
And it was
He fell really short.
he got up until week 16 he had 2 touchdowns, rushing and receiving
Just
the entire
insane.
year, which is the opposite of what he normally does.
Yeah.
So, but I think I'm still taking him in the first round
Oh,
this
yeah.
year.
And then Andrew, Marlon Mack.
Marlon Mack.
I'm with you on that because I had him in fantasy.
Now Simon was really high on Marlon Mack at
For a
the
period
beginning
of time, and then
Yeah.
Andrew Luck retired.
Okay. And
He had just had a string of 8-point games. Like I think half his games were 8-point games.
yeah.
Like I'm not even kidding. I think he had
And then-
over like
and
5
then-
8-point
and then
games.
Yeah.
He was also hurt for
Yeah, he was hurt,
I think 3 or 4 weeks during the season.
and yeah, it was just really a toss up if he'd get the
But
touchdown.
his last couple games have been pretty good. So
He had a good game this week 16.
I think I would still draft him as as like a really good running back too.
I'd say a
Running
low end
back
running
one
back too.
offside.
I'd say
I'd
low
be
end.
wary of the Colts drafting.
I'd say low to mid.
I think
Right.
the Colts draft a running back.
Over Marlon Mack.
No, I don't think they would. They already have Naeem Hines and Jordan Wilkins in that backfield too.
But Jordan Wilkins sucked this year.
Naeem Hines played pretty well, and I think
He's a good number
I've heard he's
2
a good
back.
pass
He's a
catcher.
good two back.
And he returned 2 punts for touchdowns. He's
Yeah.
a good special teamer too.
So I don't think they are in the market. I feel
He
like
might
the
get a
Colts
late round guy,
draft quarterback and
but they re-signed
wide
Jacoby
receiver.
I
Did
think
the Colts
Jacoby-
sign Jacoby Brissett?
Is this a hot take? I think Jacoby Brissett's going to last for multiple years as a Colts starter.
I agree with that, but I don't think he's gonna be a good starter. Like I don't think it's that.
Do you think
good.
he was good this year?
No, not really.
think
I thought he was
good.
alright.
I thought he was very good.
I didn't watch many Colts games. so
He's
I'm
not.
the right
He's
person
not
to ask.
elite. He's a
I
guy
don't
that
think
like
he's
he
that
needs
good,
enough pieces around him,
think
and
he's
then
as good as
he
Jimmy
could
Garoppolo.
take.
I think
Yeah,
Jimmy Garoppolo
I-
is a little better.
I'd even
A
think
tiny bit
Jacoby is better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
I can't even disagree. with
I
that.
have knocks on Jimmy Garoppolo. Sometimes his passes just look so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
I feel like
That
the only reason
was our
Garoppolo's-
weekly Jacoby Brissett digression.
Yeah.
Biggest draft stock increase from between
Yeah.
before the season to after the season. Andrew and I both had Lamar. Lamar's going to be going second round, I feel like.
No,
Third.
first round.
Yeah, first in a lot of drafts.
He's gonna go exactly where people were drafting Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes, yeah.
Yeah.
But now I want to jump into going into mock drafts for in the off season is going to be interesting. I want to see if Pat Mahomes and Lamar both go in the first
True.
round, or if
I don't think Pat will anymore.
you don't.
I think he almost deserves to, but
Pat
people
might
will, like-
still be a steal then.
I think Patrick Mahomes will be a
If you-
steal.
if
That's
you
a
get-
that's a great take.
If you get
Patrick
Pat
Mahomes might
Mahomes
be the
in
steal
like
of the draft
in like
next
the
year.
third round, Would you take him in the third round?
I would take him in the third.
Who? Which one?
Pat Mahomes.
I wouldn't take a quarterback in a single quarterback.
Okay,
That's what
No,
I used
no.
to say, and now I've changed
Simon,
mine.
I'm like with you on that argument.
I'm with
90%
Simon
of the
too.
time. I think Pat Mahomes, if he drops to me in the third round, I would really deeply think about it because I do think Pat Mahomes.
I'm all for a guy in the fourth round like that.
I'd pull the trigger because Pat Mahomes is probably going to score 100
You're
points more than
jumping
the next
up.
best guy.
An extra round. You're reaching an extra round for a guy that is.
I've been beginning to think that the quarterback, the top two now, just like the difference between them and the next guy is big enough that you should be taking them in the early rounds. That's kind
I
of
can
like
see
what I've
that.
been starting to think.
I mean, it's been shifting recently because.
Yeah, we've been seeing like the next best guy at QB has been so much worse than number one. Like it's almost worth it to take them in the first round. So and then Simon at DJ Chark.
Yeah. Basically, just I think statistically, he's going to be one of the biggest risers. He was pretty much undrafted.
Yeah.
And now I think he's going to be drafted as like a solid wide receiver too.
Yeah.
He had a 1,000-yard receiving year, almost 10 touchdowns.
So,
He was for the most of the year. He was a top 5 receiver.
yeah. I don't like DJ Chark. I think it was just a random like Jacksonville receiver like getting lucky.
But Allen Robinson's great.
Allen Robinson is really good. So
And also, I don't like the Jacksonville long-term quarterback situation. Gardner.
But
Minshew mania.
He produced in that situation.
Yeah, I know. That's what's kind of crazy. But
And he had like I feel like everyone thought D.D. Westbrook was like the guy.
yeah.
I did
That's
too.
what I
And he
thought.
just
I was like-
took that spot.
He did. He kind of performed a D.D. Westbrook ceiling, what we thought was going to be a ceiling last year.
I think he outproduced. I didn't think D.D. Westbrook had wide receiver 1 in his range of outcomes.
I
was like,
would
you're drafting a 2 at
hesitate
best
to call
because-
DJ Chark
yeah.
a wide receiver one.
I honestly thought D.D. Westbrook was like what I thought Julian Edelman was going to be. Just like a solid 2.
I was right
I
about
thought so.
Edelman.
You were.
Yeah, I don't think-
I stayed
You nailed
strong
that
with
one.
Edelman and I nailed it.
Nice.
Oh, one of my
All
few
right.
joys of the football season.
Biggest draft stock plummet. We all chose David
We all
Johnson
chose David
because
Johnson.
You
there's
can't
really no
not.
other choice. There's no
can't.
other plausible choice because this guy probably won't go draft in the first 10 rounds.
Yeah, he was like a perennial top 5 pick for some of the year, for some of the offseason.
Yeah.
And
It's
he
like an unprecedented situation. It's so weird. I think NFL running backs is the weirdest like industry in sports because it's just like it's so weird how fast like people go
Any
from like
second.
really good to gone from like Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt was insane.
I know.
And that doesn't have to do as much with playing.
Yeah.
But still, he's
And
like
he could be insane next year.
he's the same guy. It's insane.
Do you think? I don't think Kareem Hunt stays in.
No.
In
I think he go.
Cleveland.
I think he
But
go
there's
gets it back.
not much point for him in Cleveland, honestly. They're not even
So,
using trouble. a lot.
Go somewhere. He stayed out of trouble this year, as far as we know.
Yeah.
And so
No.
he could go somewhere and then have insane
Yeah,
chance.
he
of
could
that.
definitely produce.
Um,
So best value next year. I have 3 guys I really like for value next year. I have Odell.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if he's gonna, but the potential is definitely there, which is easy to say. But
There's
Like,
rumors he
it's-
leaves.
yeah, it's hard to get worse. Yeah, and he could leave. It's just hard to get worse than what he did this year.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon. I feel like people
Mm.
are gonna have him so low, and he's been having a really good end of the season. But I think he's like a first or second rounder. I think that's what he should be drafted as, but people
Really?
won't draft him as that.
I would.
I'd say he's a solid second
I
rounder.
might disagree.
Depending on landing spot, I could
Because
see
I want to see what happens with like his situation with Eckler, like where he goes.
I think they're always gonna split them up.
Well, is he going to be on the
Melvin's gonna
Chargers?
leave? Probably.
Is he going to be?
Is
so does
he?
his contract end, or what's the
Yeah,
deal?
he's done.
So he's definitely going to leave. Okay, yeah, Melvin. If Melvin goes in the right spot, I could draft him in the first round. I
Well,
would
then,
totally.
Would you take
consider
Eckler
that.
alone?
Oh
I
my
would.
God.
I would love Eckler.
Eckler on his own is a top 10 back.
Ac-
Yeah.
yeah.
He has
Oh,
that
he's like a
backfield.
top like 6 or 7 back. I think.
Yeah.
That's in. Yeah, I really like Eckler. So yeah, running back could get a lot, and also Marlon Mack. I'm not as strong on this, but I could totally see him having just. I think this year was just like a bad year. I can see him having like a bounce back year next year. Not as much injuries. Better Colts offense. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Simon.
Thank you. Yeah, I picked Juju. I think, to me, this one's obvious. Apparently not to Jason.
Yeah.
But
I'll-
I think he's a guy you're going to be able to... Okay, I think it's going to be a repeat of like after his sophomore year, or rookie
Yeah.
year.
His sophomore year. A repeat of his sophomore year.
Yeah, I mean the off season where you could get him in like the 4th round
Oh.
and he'll produce like a wide receiver 1. I think
I-
that's the value you get.
I really don't like Juju. I don't think he's a wide receiver 1. I think he's a mid wide receiver 2 is my take on it.
geez,
That's
get
what
outta
I
here.
think he is. Reasonably a mid
Big
wide
Ben
receiver
back,
2.
I think he's
But
just...
part of that is I don't know how long Big Ben's gonna play next year. Like how many games is he
think he
gonna
might get
last?
hurt
He gets
again?
injured like very, and he's so old, very frequent injuries.
I don't
And
think
also
he
just the thought, just the ability of Juju to be a wide receiver 1 in the offense, I'm still not sold on. I had some questions, and this season did not disprove that.
Yeah.
So I have no
Well,
reason to think that he could be a wide
Jason,
receiver.
I'm
1.
throwing this season looking at any Steelers offensive weapon away.
I'm
because-
not though. I'm not
Well,
because
what
this
do you-
isn't like this might be the Steelers next year. Like who's to say Ben Roethlisberger doesn't get injured? There's a really good
Yeah, but the
chance.
Steelers are going to go get someone else at quarterback.
Maybe.
Because, no, they just proved that both their quarterbacks
I hope so.
are
for Juju's sake.
incapable of
In what
throwing
round do you
consistent
think? What
passes.
round do you think they'll spend a
10
pick
yards.
on for quarterback?
Well, they don't have a first round, but I bet they spend a second round pick on a quarterback.
Their
Because
first
that's
pick
their
on a
most
quarterback.
demanding issue right now. They have one of the best defenses that is completely so young. And then
Even a second round quarterback, I don't know how good that'd do for Juju. Like the top
It'd do
3.
better
I
than
don't think
what-
Ben... I just think Ben's going to come back, and I'm
And-
not banking on an injury.
And they just
And I
released a
think he's
report
gonna-
today saying that Ben is rehabbing his shoulder to clear up any
That's-
questions about him coming back.
It's just
I'm
for-
not worried about, because this is the first
I
time
wouldn't
Ben
say
had
I'm
an
not
injury to his
worried about
shoulder.
Juju anymore. I'd say I'm in on Juju. Because to say I'm not worried about Juju would
And then-
imply that
and
he's
then
fine right now,
think
which
about-
I don't think he is.
Think about the value
I'd-
you're going to get Juju at drafting next season.
the
Everybody
ceiling.
was
He has a huge,
scorched.
super high ceiling.
I wonder where he's going to go.
That's
like,
a really interesting one,
Fifth,
What?
sixth
too.
round,
round.
He might go in the 5th. in a
fifth,
lot of
sixth.
I think people are going to draft him kind of high next year, which is
People are going to get hyped.
I mean,
why I think him and I'll get to that after after Andrew goes. But
okay, and then so yeah,
I'm adding Juju.
guys-
I oh my god.
yeah.
I just looked
So-
at Jason's list.
So I just
gonna
I
have
just
Simon
I
Hurricane
just
Ridge.
I just updated our list and I put like a really hot take. Like
Yeah,
these are one of my.
I feel like I've heard that last name before.
You know that last
Jesus
name.
Christ.
Jason.
Where is
Simon loves
Who
it.
is he again?
You think that
I'll
was
get there.
out of love?
I'll get there. No, I know what's gonna happen because I've been watching it.
Okay, Andrew.
Huge hot take.
What do you have to say?
Okay, so first I say Juju. We already discussed
Yeah.
Juju, and then best value pick for next year, Joe Mixon.
I agree with that.
Joe Mixon was
Top five.
performing in the last like 5 games. He had really really good games.
He's
The
been-
Bengals just need something else around
I know.
him.
Once they get Joe
And-
Burrows, so
Joe
that's why I
Burrow.
think
Yeah,
they're gonna.
exactly.
They're going
That's
to have
why.
So-
2 first-round offensive linemen come back next year.
And then they'll get offensive line help. And I think Joe Mixon's going to be a great option. And that you'll get in the second,
Yeah.
hopefully third round. I would love to take
Jesus.
Joe in the third round.
Yeah,
my
I
I
can't-
think
players.
he's going to be like a Dalvin Cook. Like,
Yeah,
If you get him
yeah,
late second,
exactly. You can grab
and
him
he
early.
just is a
And
top
then
running back.
I have a giant hot take that got some reactions out of Simon and Jason.
I like
Well, I
this.
just
I'll
wanna
say
know
this.
who-
I like this more than what Jason's about to say.
Okay. Myles Gaskin, rookie, drafted by the Dolphins. He was hurt for like over half the season, so we just saw him get kind of accumulated in the offense. And I think he's just so talented in college ball. And now I think he's the only one in Miami that can compete. And if Miami puts
He's a running
something,
back?
yeah.
At
If
this-
Miami puts something around him, I think he can blow up next season. Be a super.
But you'd think they'd at
Super
least
athletic.
spend a 4th-round pick on a running back.
Oh,
in this
but I
super
think
deep.
I think he can beat out any running back they put in the system. I'm confident.
Any running back?
What college is
Or-
he from, Andrew?
What college is he from? I don't know.
Look it up.
Yeah, Myles Gaskin.
I think there's 12 running backs minimum that would beat him out easily.
Washington. Yeah, I don't know much about him.
I'm confident in him though.
We'll see. I mean, that's a very hot take, and I would have to put my official side on the disagree
Okay.
side.
We'll
Because
just
I
have
think
to
they're
see.
going to draft a running
We'll
back.
see what the off season shakes out to be.
Yeah.
There's a couple running backs that I think would beat him out, but I feel like as of right now,
What if, like, Melvin ends up there?
I can't imagine Melvin would want to go to the Dolphins.
Also,
I really like the Texans though. I like that.
That
for
would be
Melvin.
awesome.
I think Texans need to go get a big name.
And
running back.
they definitely could be a contender next year.
Yeah.
Speaking of disagree, we go to most overrated next year, and I already talked about Juju, but my other guy is DJ Moore.
Just tell me why.
So I had DJ Moore in one of my leagues. This was non-PPR, so it was a lot tougher. I
Yeah.
probably have a worse opinion of him because of that. But he was just a quarterback situation paired with a lot of this is biased towards, again, I have to emphasize, I was not in a PPR league where I had
Right.
DJ Moore. So I like him a lot less than I should, but I don't know. Just the quarterback situation is not good over there. A lot of it's going to McCaffrey, a lot of the workload, a lot of the passing. Even passing touchdowns are getting pilfered, so I just don't have a lot to like about DJ Moore. He's talented, but there's not much else there.
I have everything to like about DJ Moore. So you said the QB situation.
Yeah.
I think, so going into this week, which he got hurt this week, so he didn't play a full game.
Mhm.
So going into this week, he was the wide receiver 8 in PPR leagues.
See, PPR, that's where I don't have the insight on.
Right.
Because I was...
And he did that with
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen the whole year. And a little bit of terrible cameo.
And he also did that with Christian McCaffrey's production.
the
True.
second
Insane
best
production.
running back season ever, which he will probably not repeat next year. He still was a top 10 receiver.
And so,
with a bad
the
quarterback
thing I have
situation.
is I don't think he's going to repeat a top 10 wide receiving season. I feel like a lot of people are going to think he's going to get better next year. So that's why I think he's just
I
going to
think
go
he has
earlier
to
than he
get better.
should. I don't think he's going to get better than wide receiver 8. It's kind of my thing with Juju. Like, I think this...
and I
But
think
but
You can
different
get
than
him.
Juju, he was his team's wide receiver 1
you can
This
get
year?
this year.
more in the second round, like pretty easily.
Wait,
wouldn't
are you
take
talking
him
about
in a-
second round?
I don't know if I'd take him in
Oh,
the second
This is...
round.
see, I feel like people are
Well, I
going to
mean,
really project
I
a
was
lot
thinking
onto
like
them, so.
late second round.
In
See,
a
that's
dynasty
like-
league, he's a
See, that's
second round
why
pick.
I think he's going to be overrated in the draft. Because I feel like a lot of people are going to
I
think
mean,
he's like...
let me work on my rankings, but I do like more, especially if they figure something else with the quarterback situation. They
Yeah.
get something going.
He's-
Like a
Let's
little
see.
better.
This isn't a knock against him. It's just I think people are going to think he's a lot better than he's going to be next year. I don't think he's going to get much better.
I feel like he gets better.
I smell a Juju style bet again on DJ Moore.
Well, what do you think he's going to be then?
Well, I think he's going to be a wide receiver 1.
Well, but better than top 8?
I'll give you top
'Cause
10.
I would bet on top 8 for sure because I
Would
don't
you
think
bet
he's
on
going
top
to get
10?
any better.
Would you?
No,
not
I'm
bet on
betting
top
on
10?
him
I'd
not
bet on
getting
top
better.
10. DJ Moore top 10.
You bet on him being top 10?
Yeah.
Great. You guys should make that bet.
I'm just saying I don't think he's going to get better. I don't think he's going to be better than top 8. If
I
anyone
do
wants to
think-
bet against me, I will happily take that bet.
I think I
You
have
want
it
this
at
one?
top 10.
I'm saying he's not
But
going to get better and he's top 8 right now. So if anyone wants to bet against me on that.
Are you gonna
I'm
take this or
listening.
mine?
I'm listening top 8 if you
I
guys
don't
say
think
it's
I'll
going to
take
get
top
better.
8.
See, this I don't know.
It's just
It's
risky.
interesting.
I do though think he's gonna get better.
I feel like people are projecting he's going to get better, but don't think that the odds are he's going to get better. That's
But
what
why-
I think on him.
Why wouldn't he get better though?
If I'll bet them. I'm not because I think people are projecting him to get better. This is kind of like Juju. I just think that
It is a lot.
he might not be like as an individual. He'll probably be better, but I just don't think he's going to be a top 8 wide receiver.
Okay,
Like I just don't see that with all the wide receiver talent.
I wouldn't take him. I like him top 10.
I don't like
He's-
him top 10 either, but like it could. I don't know.
Okay, I'll just say I disagree with DJ Moore
Go ahead.
in the overrated section because I think
Talk about disagreeing again. Simon has Derrick Henry in the most
You
overrated
guys are
next
just
year.
going at each other's throats.
Let's-
yeah, we're just taking these are like
I'd like
most
to disagree
beloved
with.
players,
I know.
and we're just attacking each other. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not going to take Derrick Henry in Like, if he's there late third round,
Late third season. He's going to be gone in the first 2 rounds of any
yeah,
12
which I
team.
won't take. I won't take him there.
But what about him? Don't you like though? Because
No
he's
pass
had
catching.
because they've been getting better as he's been rushing. But I'm not drafting him for the rushing because he's gonna have
Yeah.
like 1,300 yards, like over 10 touchdowns.
What I'm scared about is the volatility of the running back position. He has been just hammered with touches for the past. This is like it's going to be his
Okay.
5th year or something.
I think this will be his 4th. Yeah, this will be his 4th next season
I
because
think
last
next
year was
season's
his second. Yeah, last year was his sophomore year.
He had a couple years with DeMarco Murray too.
Yeah.
I think next year's his 5th.
Let me check.
Because he was in the same class as Zeke, maybe.
Oh my god, was he in the claim class with Zeke? Yeah. Okay, so he had a couple under the radar, but he wasn't getting much of a workload in those seasons.
I guess I think we're different in that I like more PPR than
But
you do.
I agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like just disregarding PPR, he's having 1,300 yards and like over 10
I think
touchdowns.
he's
Like, that's
definitely a running back 1.
Simon.
okay.
I'm not saying he's
But
not
you-
running back 1. I'm not going to take him in the top 2 rounds though. Just because
I
I'm
want to
scared
read
of
you
him.
his
I
point
feel that
totals
with other
ever
guys.
since he got Ryan Tannehill in that offense.
Okay.
24, 33,
I didn't know
28,
Andrew Thomas.
23, 23. And then he
Yeah,
got
he's
hurt
great.
last game, and so he only had 8 points.
Yeah, so he got hurt.
But like before that, he only had 128 game up until week 8, and then Ryan Tannehill came in and he had 24, 33, 28, 23, 23.
I think he's
so,
really
like-
good. I just can't see myself.
I mean, I feel like
And I don't know if he's going to
you
repeat
have
this.
to acknowledge that Ryan Tannehill, I hate saying this so much, changes that offense because somehow Tannehill has
He
the
does. He's
golden
good.
arm in Tennessee.
good.
And so I think that brings so much more value to him because he was stuck with Mariota.
Yeah, I'm not
who
saying he-
couldn't really
I still think
perform.
he's a running back 1.
I feel like you're a little too down on him and you have to give Derrick Henry some respect.
Okay, let me
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. I don't know
Okay,
what
let
you
me
did
start
someone
listing
else
running
to say
backs
that.
I'd take over him real quick.
They keep showing the Aaron Jones 50-yard highlight every time I look over. and I
Let's
get so
just see
angry.
where I have him real quick. Maybe he's not. Okay, so C-Mac, Barkley, Cook, Chubb, Kamara, Joe Mixon, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs. Who are some other top running backs this year?
No one. I think Derrick Henry fits really nicely into that list. Let me check. Austin
Eckler.
Eckler, Zeke,
Melvin.
Zeke, I take Zeke. God, I forgot
Mark
about Zeke.
Forgot
Ingram,
about
Chris
Zeke.
Carson, Leonard Fournette,
Fournette, I
Todd
take over
Gurley.
him
Fournette over
easily.
Derrick Henry. Easily.
I like that.
Really?
I don't mind
because,
that.
And you're talking about injury risk with Leonard Fournette.
He played the whole year.
He played the whole
I know,
year.
but the injury history before that.
Well, I mean,
Like, if we're talking about workload getting, like, a toll on someone,
Yeah.
I feel like Leonard Fournette would be a bigger candidate.
But
Because he's actually been injured for, like,
yeah, so I
long
view them
seasons.
super similarly in that category.
But
But
they're-
Fournette had a bunch of receptions and targets this year.
yeah.
So I give
He's
him
in a
the edge.
way worse
And he had
offense.
barely any touchdowns. He had like 3 rushing touchdowns.
I think that's
so I
just
think
being on the
regression-
Jags offense.
Regression hits him and positively.
Would you have Kenyon Drake in your top 10?
Oh,
If I knew.
I hope not.
You have to
No.
think about it. You were forced
He's
to think
just
about
it's
it
just
right
too
now.
early. It's just too early.
I know.
It's too
but
early. I can't
He was
think about
performing
that.
like a top
That's
10
such a
running
weird
back.
thing to think
So,
about.
That's all I've been thinking about. Every time I saw the Cardinals come, I'm like, do I take Kenyon Drake in the top?
That actually is
top,
kind of-
as a top
If
that
I
is
know for a
interesting.
fact they don't draft a running back and David Johnson is a no fact.
That's a very interesting
Yeah,
thing.
it's something you actually have to think
Oh.
about. We're actually
I
gonna
can't-
have to
Damian Williams.
We're gonna have this conversation
Of next
later
year.
on.
Damian
I think
Williams.
the Chiefs go get a running back.
No, I'm saying Kenyon Drake is the Damian Williams
Oh,
of this
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
So I just named 10 running backs that I'd for sure take over Derrick Henry.
Half of
I
those
mean-
guys I have a problem with.
I think I like Derrick Henry is like top 8 running back.
I like that.
So
I like
who
that.
would
It's
you
like
put?
number 8.
Who out of those 10 would you take out? Give me names, Andrew.
What did you say again? You said
So just tell me when I get you someone who you'd take over, who you would take Henry over. Zeke, CMC, Barkley, Chubb, Kamara, Cook, Fournette.
Hmm?
no, one more.
Aaron Jones.
Not there. I think I'd take
Okay.
Thank you.
Henry
I would
over
take
Aaron
Henry
Jones,
too.
and so that puts him at like
Josh
7 or
Jacobs.
8. Derrick Henry.
And the last one was
Melvin or Austin
Or-
Eckler.
Melvin or Eckler. One of those two,
Maybe.
depending on the
I
situation.
feel like
think
it was
Dalvin
someone else.
Cook?
I already said Cook, I think.
Joe Mixon.
I think I
Oh,
said him too.
you didn't say
Oh,
Mixon
Barkley?
already.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Mixon probably.
Mixon.
I'd take Mixon over him, definitely.
I would take Mixon over him.
You would?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh.
That would go against everything
I
I've
would-
ever said on the
Simon,
podcast.
Simon.
That was
That
pure
just be a
shock for me.
character flaw in
So-
my,
So I
my
like drew
head.
my line at like Fournette. So
Yeah,
I think I'd
7
go
or 8,
Fournette, Mixon, and then Derrick Henry at like
So you have
8.
him at 8, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I can't
So-
argue with it.
So you took, like, Jacobs and...
So I took
Someone
Jacobs
else.
and someone else underneath them.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a huge problem.
I have him
with.
in the 5 to 8 range personally.
Although Josh Jacobs,
Five.
Josh
Leaning
Jacobs
towards
and
five.
Derrick Henry are really really similar.
I agree with that.
And so-
yeah. I like them both.
That might be somewhere where I like look at like what the team did in the offseason to make themselves better.
Yeah.
true.
But right now I think I like the Titans offense way better. So then
Yeah.
I'll go Derrick Henry over Jacobs.
Alright. And then lastly, you had
I have Lamar
Lamar is
Jackson.
most overrated next year.
Now
After you can
Yeah.
convince me that he should go in the top 2 rounds.
I think that's gonna.
no, I was telling you to take Patrick Mahomes in the second round.
Okay.
That's what I was arguing because I believe Lamar Jackson
But still in the second round?
and Lamar Jackson will go
I say second round.
in the first round.
I say first or second.
of like most of the drafts we see. It happened.
I hope
same
not.
thing with Mahomes.
I didn't
saw it
see
with
Mahomes
You
going
didn't
to-
see it. I saw it.
I saw
Jason,
it occasionally, but I don't think it was a consensus.
Oh, I saw
think
it so
second. I think
often.
second round
Second
was a
round.
consensus.
I still
Yeah.
think that's too early for like the first quarterback you take off the board. I think I would take Mahomes in the third round, but like now I see Lamar going like all this hype. Lamar's gonna win MVP.
Yeah.
And so, like, I see all this hype, and I hate taking a quarterback super early because you lose so much draft value. So I already know
I take
I'm not going to have
Derrick
a.
Henry over both of them.
I'm not going to see a single league where
I
I
would
have
do-
Lamar Jackson
I would
besides
do
in the
so.
dynasty.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, in a dynasty superflex league, Lamar is a high first round pick.
But like in like normal leagues,
In
And-
a normal
Pat
league,
Mahomes is still the 101 though, right? In Dynasty.
Simon, I'm just going to
it's
slap
that might
this in
be
your
a
face.
that might
this
be
year.
a controversial opinion
I
at this
think
point.
Mahomes has to be.
Mahomes or
I think yes.
Lamar.
So Mahomes is my quarterback one in dynasty, which is I guess a controversial opinion at this point.
I
but
agree with
I think
that.
I
I
agree with
might take Christian McCaffrey first.
well, because
I wouldn't. Running back in Dynasty, especially with the 3 years.
I think
Like
you have
McCaffrey
to
doesn't
go-
get injured much, but
I think you go Mahomes, McCaffrey,
yeah,
and then Lamar.
and then Michael Thomas.
I think so. I do Michael Thomas and Lamar.
You know, I'd agree with that actually.
Lamar kind of scares me after 2 years from now.
Which
Lamar
makes me
in-
happy because I have
Lamar
Michael
in
Thomas
Dynasty,
and Patrick Mahomes
you're
on
like-
the same team in a dynasty.
yeah,
superflex.
I mean, like, I have Lamar in a dynasty, and so all I'm thinking about with him is like, when do I jump
Sell
off this
Andrew.
train? When
This
do
is
I
the
sell
highest
high?
selling point
the
you could
second
possibly.
the
I was
trade
like-
deadline is over and you can trade again, go for
Andrew, if you're telling me
Because
this is the highest
I have,
point.
So
I
who's
have
it-
I have Josh Allen
you're
as my
high-
second quarterback.
who's a quarterback that you're kind of high on, that's in the like kind of middle range right now. That you
Maybe
think
like
is gonna
Kyler Murray. I like, and I
That
could
one's
get
gonna-
Kyler Murray in a bigger piece. Are you
I'm saying
saying that like someone lower than that?
I was thinking more like you could get like what about a package like a Baker Mayfield and a I mean, you could go Kyler Murray. You just wouldn't get as big of
Yeah,
a piece.
that's true. Baker Mayfield, you'd have to get a huge piece to make
Yeah,
that even.
but you
Like,
could get a huge piece, and then
yeah.
Baker's your quarterback.
It'd have
too.
to be Baker and like Odell or something. Because I don't even think I'd do
No,
that,
I
to be
don't-
honest.
I don't think I would do that for.
Yeah,
Lamar.
I don't think I would
wouldn't
either.
do Baker and
I
Odell.
would
Maybe-
hate Baker.
I mean,
I
if you
think,
could
like-
get Kyler in a first, that's perfect cashing out.
Ooh, Kyler in a first
I
round
would-
pick.
Yeah, for Lamar.
No, I'd go.
I
Like,
think I'd take Lamar in that, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not big on picks.
what
I don't
about-
like picks.
I'm kind of a sucker for him.
I think Kyler Murray is really good, though. I think he's like a top.
Kyler
He's
and
good
Josh
because-
Jacobs would be a wet dream.
Well, yeah, but that's not.
Yeah, I think
No, I'm
Kyler might be
trying to
the
think of
third,
something like along
the
that-
third
Ky-
quarterback
Kyler's
in Dynasty.
yeah, he's being valued as a top 5.
I think he might be number 3.
Deshaun Watson.
Just
Just
Okay,
in,
yeah.
In ADP right now.
Four.
Yeah,
I would
before.
take him 4. I'd take him over Josh Allen. I would take him over.
Yeah, I'd take him 4
Mike,
too.
Yeah. All those guys. All right.
So we're in agreement on
yeah.
Kyler.
or get like a Sam Darnold and
You'd have to get Sam
Andrew.
Darnold plus.
plus.
Yeah,
plus,
Andrew.
plus.
Hey, wait! I have Sam Darnold. I don't want to give
Yeah.
plus. though.
plus.
I don't want to give Michael Thomas on
Alright.
top.
Sam Darnold and Michael Thomas.
So we've just established that Michael Thomas is more valuable between.
Well, you believe that.
I think you agreed with us when we said that out loud.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
Simon, I think that you need to jump on this fantasy opportunity you have.
I do
before you-
think
right
we'll keep y'all Oh, I hate that I just said y'all like that.
keep y'all.
We'll keep you guys updated on what Andrew does with Lamar Jackson because
Yeah, that's
maybe what I do
interesting
with
to see.
Christian McCaffrey. Maybe
A lot
I'll
of
sell
people
him.
are in that situation.
And then in the other league, I have Alvin Kamara and the Ezekiel Elliott stack.
Maybe I'll try to buy Kamara.
Okay.
You like Miles Sanders, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little something there.
All right, so that
This one worth
concludes our award show.
Yeah, our award show that lasted
No, we still have the
That's a good
all-time.
point. Oh, that's our award show, but now we have our
our 40-minute award show.
fantasy team.
Yeah,
I just want to start by saying I spent a lot of time on this because
I put a lot
The
of thought into
thing-
this.
I didn't have a ton of time to put into
I didn't
this.
use much thought because the thing was I did the all NBA decade team before this, and the thing is, with all NBA decade team, it's all just speculation, like opinion eye test. Since fantasy is numbers based, there almost is a right answer to what the all decade team, just whoever put the most points up.
and I
Almost.
tried to stray from that a little bit.
I
didn't-
tried to go straight in and actually figure out who the best statistically were, and
I
it
like
took
that.
me so long.
I picked.
But I think I have the right answer.
So let's just start with quarterbacks.
Let's start with quarterbacks.
I feel like mine are gonna get some blowback a little bit.
Let's hear it. So we
we
did
picked-
2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, starting in January 1st, 2010, and
Yeah.
ending December 31st, 2019. Who's the best?
Wait, you guys didn't tell me you set dates.
Well,
With
I
the
mean,
decade team.
like a decade team. It's
You just
kind
said
of.
all-time
I didn't
team.
tell Simon.
I mean,
that.
mine's not the
I think
worst.
Simon.
Wait, did you not know it was decades?
Yeah, wait,
No.
what did you?
Wait,
Wait, what did you do?
You just told me all-time team.
No, you said he
I
said.
mean,
Look,
I
it
definitely
says all
said
decade.
Oh my god, I didn't read that.
Okay, Andrew, you can be our speculatory.
I
So
mean,
wait,
I
what's
have
your
some-
team?
So, for for my quarterbacks, I have Peyton Manning
That's fine.
and
That's
Michael Vick.
Okay.
Yeah. And running backs, I have Adrian Peterson and Todd Gurley.
Wait, so what
And
were
Todd
you
Gurley
doing
all
this off
time?
of?
What?
What were you doing this off of?
I just did it off of like more recent players, just in general.
Oh, just in
And
general.
so
Okay.
I'm not completely screwed, but
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Some
Let's
of
just
it.
do our quarterbacks though.
I'll do as much
So
as I can. Based on
2
what I have.
quarterbacks. I did it like QB1, QB2. Like
Oh.
QB1's
Okay.
better. So what'd you have, Simon?
I guess if I'm picking my QB1 for the decade, it's Drew Brees.
I landed on the same conclusion.
Really?
I
I'm
landed
kinda
on the
surprised
exact
about
same
that.
conclusion, and Aaron Rodgers the number 2, which
Me
I think you
too.
did. So I have a lot of
Oh my God,
statistical
this is so
evidence on
great.
this. So yeah.
I was totally just going off of like this is what I feel is right.
So Drew Brees, 308.7 points per year. Out
Yeah.
of this decade, insane.
Ridiculous.
20.2 points per game
For the
this
decade.
year for the decade. 15.3 games per year. So he's always
Yeah.
on the field. Played every game except one 15-game season this year. And no, wait, so he played every game of this decade except one 15-game season, and this year when he played 11.
Yeah.
So discounting this year, he's missed one game of the decade. And then Aaron Rodgers, 295.3 points per year, which is 13 less than Brees.
Yeah.
14.2 games per year. So the thing I saw, when you take out the seasons that he played, like 6 or 7 games, like 9 games, if you take those out, he has 332 points per year, which blows Drew Brees out of the water,
Yeah.
which is insane. But the only thing is Aaron Rodgers gets hurt every once in a while, so that's why I had him QB2.
yeah.
When he plays, though, he's way higher.
I'm in complete agreement.
Yeah, I think it's it. The only other guy that was close, the Aaron Rodgers, you could argue Tom Brady because
Yeah.
he's averaging 1 more point per year. 2 less points per game, way more consistent, like staying on the field. But
I
when
also-
Aaron Rodgers is playing,
I also had Peyton Manning in my honorable mentions.
I was thinking about Peyton Manning, but like
I couldn't.
the
put
rest
him
of
in.
these guys have played the entire decade, and
Yeah.
Peyton just like I don't know. I'd Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, and Phillip Rivers coming in the
Ooh,
next.
I like the
3.
Russell Wilson.
Because Russell Wilson, right now, he's on track. He's never missed a game. If he had played those extra 2 years, he would have been 1 or 2 because he has 19 points per game, 305 points per year, which is only under Drew Brees. So
Yeah.
that's what I had for quarterbacks. Drew
I
Brees
think
and
my
Rodgers.
running back 2 is going to be a little
Yeah,
iffy.
there is a very clear running backs for me.
Is one Adrian
Yeah.
Peterson?
Running back 2 is Adrian Peterson. So, Adrian Peterson, the lowdown. So it's harder with running backs to do seasons and like sum it all like points per
Right.
year because
Right.
they're injured. So what I did is I just looked at their seasons in the decade and I did how many quality seasons they had and how many stud seasons they had, which is like superstar seasons. So Adrian Peterson, 7 quality seasons, 4 stud seasons. 200 out of those quality seasons of 7, 236 points per year, 16 points per game, 15 games per season. So that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 10 overall seasons where his points per year decreased a ton because he had like 3
Yeah.
years where he was like suspended and
But
play.
he also got that like 2,000 yard
yeah.
season.
He had that insane season. 5 studs, like 4 stud seasons is a lot. Like
In 10
stud
years?
seasons are pretty like at a high like expectancy. But the running back one that blew AP out of the water. I'm gonna give you 2 guesses, Simon.
Sean McCoy.
Yes, Andrew. That's actually exactly who it was.
Guess who my running back 2 is?
Who?
LaShawn
LaShawn
McCoy.
McCoy?
Sean
Alright,
McCoy's my
perfect.
first.
Yeah.
low
So
season.
LaShawn McCoy had 8 quality seasons out of 10. That's
Yeah.
pretty insane. 5 stud seasons. Half of his decade was stud seasons. So out of the 8 of the 10 seasons,
Yeah.
260 points per year, 18 points per game, 14.6 games per season.
Yeah.
And if you take all 10 years, 234 points per year, 16 points per game, 14.4 games per season. So he's always on the field. Almost.
Yeah.
He had 1 season where he got injured, but
He was spectacular.
he's insane. Like he's the running back of the decade in fantasy.
I agree.
Like
This is total. We didn't coordinate this
No,
at
we didn't
all.
at all.
And we have the
No.
same 4
yeah,
players.
and I
to
think
start.
we're gonna have the same wide receivers too. I think
So
we
my
will.
wide receiver 1 is Antonio Brown.
I had the same one.
Yeah.
Exact same one with the statistics.
Yeah,
You have to
just
go Brown.
ridiculous.
8
Um,
quality seasons. The thing about it was consecutive between 2011 2018. He didn't have 1 bad season.
No, he was. Oh my god!
And
I
I-
wish I was in a dynasty league and drafted him.
I know.
And
In
just rode
2011.
him for 10 years. I feel like that's what you could do if you got Michael Thomas.
Good.
I
Like a
actually
couple weeks
put
ago.
so in my honorable mentions, just because of what they're doing is insane. I put Michael Thomas and Christian McCaffrey already.
Oh yeah, I forgot about honorable mentions. So I had a lot of honorable mentions for running back. I had Matt Forte,
I had Matt
Yeah.
Forte.
Le'Veon Bell,
Right.
Todd Gurley, Marshawn Lynch, Arian Foster,
Jamal
Jamal Charles, Zeke, DeMarco Murray, Melvin Gordon. Melvin. I saw he had 4 stud seasons. When I looked over it, like he had 4 really good seasons. So I had to put him in AB though. 6 stud
Yeah.
seasons out of those 8. That's insane. 298 points per year, 20 points per game, 15.1 games per season. He missed 7 games during that 8-year stretch, so he was always on the field.
Unquestionable.
Yeah, insane. So he's your wide receiver too.
Julio.
Julio is my wide receiver 3, and I think you know who my wide receiver 2 was.
Is it Fitz?
No. Fitz wasn't even on my
Fitz
honorable
isn't on your
mention.
list?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He wasn't even on my honorable mention.
Really?
Do you have,
I just, yeah.
Was it? It wasn't
who's
Calvin.
your 2?
It was Calvin.
It was Calvin.
He had 6 quality seasons, 6 stud seasons, 20 points per game, 15 games per year. He missed 6 games during that 6-year span, so he's more durable than I remembered. But, yeah, he was just second in average points per game, points per year is insane.
Yeah.
Even if it was just over.
As my number 2, I have Andre Johnson
Really?
out of Texas. Because
Andre
he had
Johnson just
crazy
never got
seasons.
touchdowns, so he got a ton of receiving yards, but he never
Oh.
really got the touchdowns, did he? Yeah, no, he did. Oh my god, no.
No wait. That was.
Oh, that was
Johnson.
okay. That was like 0-3-1-2 for
No,
Andre
here.
Johnson.
2010.
This is
1,200
pretty
yards
bad,
and
though.
8.
He had 2, 4,
He got-
5,
he got
3,
hurt.
4, 2. for touchdowns.
Yeah, but every season he was putting up.
Yeah, his
like,
receiving
1,500
crazy.
yards.
That was insane.
He was putting up
Um,
1,500 yards and like 120 some catches every season.
Yeah, so he was insane. I'll add an honorable mention. I'm not gonna go over the stats with Julio because you can get lost in it, but it's insane. He had 7 stud seasons, which is the most of anyone. 7
Julio?
seasons where he was insane.
He just became the fastest player to 12,000 receiving
Really?
yards too.
Yeah, he's so good. So he's my wide receiver 3. Honorable mentions: Hopkins.
Yeah,
Hopkins is a 4th guy in here. I was looking at it. He's the 4th guy.
he's been fantastic.
Des Bryant, Brandon Marshall,
Okay, thank
AJ
you for
Green,
splitting
Demarius
Dez.
Thomas,
I can't
Jordy
believe Fitz
Nelson.
didn't get an honorable mention.
He might be in there. He might.
What do you mean
I
he
didn't
might
even
be?
look him over to be honest.
I'll give you some Fitz stats.
Demarius Thomas, Jordy Nelson, Odell, Mike Evans, Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas.
Because Michael Thomas, 3 years have all been bangers.
Michael Thomas
So I
is
couldn't
going to
figure
end
it
up on the all-time fantasy
Oh yeah.
team.
Oh yeah. He's insane.
Okay, Jason.
I need to see this here. I have a website that converts it to fantasy points. So it's just
Okay.
easier to read in that
Yeah.
scope.
So
Fitz.
FantasyData.com. It's really good.
I'm going to be honest with my tight ends. It felt weird picking my number 2.
I kind of had the same thing. It was actually really close between 2 and 3 for me.
Really?
The cutoff was really, really close. Yeah.
So wait, so Gronk's our
Gronk's won. Yeah. Gronk's won.
Who's
6
your
quality seasons. 5.
I have
seasons.
Antonio Gates too.
Antonio Gates did not make it anywhere for me. I did not have him on my list.
Not even an honorable mention.
No. I only had 2 for honorable mentions, though. Or 2 or 3.
Mhm.
Who'd you have for tight end 2?
it feels weird,
Yeah.
but I put Kelsey.
That's okay. That's what I thought.
And then I had Kelsey and Ertz.
For me, it was between Jimmy Graham and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And I switched it to Kelsey from Graham, but then I switched it back to Graham because they both had 4 just stud seasons where they went off. Kelsey had more quality seasons, but throughout the entire decade, Jimmy Graham's just been producing at some point. So like, if Kelsey had been playing like earlier in the decade,
Yeah.
and he just had like average seasons to fill out, he would have been on the list. But it's just
Right.
Jimmy Graham had the same like. His best was the same as Kelsey, but he just like was there for the whole decade. So.
That makes sense.
That's why I put him in. Travis Kelce was super close to 3.
All right, Jason. I want you to give some and give Antonio Gates some love, just a little bit. All right.
From 2010 on.
2010, 782 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Not 1,000.
That's pretty
yards.
good.
Or and
I
then
mean, just like
11,
what Kelsey's doing.
778 and 7 touchdowns.
These are okay seasons. 500 and
It's not
seven.
the number 2.
And then 2014, he
Yeah,
had
but that was
12
like-
touchdowns. So that was a
Kelsey
big
and
boom.
Graham both had seasons way better than that.
I mean,
That's
I still
his
think
best
you need to give him
season.
some honorable mentions.
Okay,
He's
I'll-
always
okay,
a good
Andrew.
top 5 tight end.
My honorable mention is
Always
Kelsey, Tony Gonzalez, Zach Ertz, and Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
How much did Tony Gonzalez put up?
He was
this
only there for
decade?
like 3-4 years,
Yeah.
but he was insane those years. So I had to. Andrew, you should use fantasy data.
I like
it says
my
fantasy
data.
points.
Okay.
No. It says the same as that, but with the fantasy points. It's nice.
We put Gonzalez.
That actually was pretty fast for the all decade teams.
Yeah, that was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. We really ran through that.
I also had Jason Witten as an honorable mention.
I didn't have Jason Witten in there, but I also didn't look him up. So
What do you mean you had Gonzalez over Gates? That's crazy.
I just didn't look at Gates. He probably would be over there over Gonzalez.
Gates is over Gonzalez
Okay.
in this decade.
Fine,
God,
fine,
give me some
fine.
Gates. I love.
I was
Antonio
only
Gates.
using it for the first team. I was only like serious about the first team. So my teams: Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, LaShawn McCoy, AB, Julio, Calvin Johnson, Gronk, Jimmy Graham. Julio is actually number 2 wide receiver. Calvin is my number 3. I don't know why. I mixed
Julio's
that up.
my number 2 as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Julio's number 2. Calvin Johnson's number 3. So we actually framed pretty
What year
close.
did Calvin retire? 2000.
2016.
Yeah.
So yeah, he played 6 in the decade.
He could have played another couple years.
Coulda. He definitely could have.
Definitely could have.
Calvin was.
It's a shame.
Calvin
yeah.
and Fitz are very close for me.
Yeah, the closest for me was Graham and Kelsey, but besides
Yeah.
that, I have a very final list. Like, I'm confident these are the best.
I'm going to be
Fantasy
honest,
wise.
not confident putting Shady And
Shady,
But
I
I
forgot about it.
No, but Shady was so good.
I know he was so good. That's why I ended up putting him in.
You know, I actually want to look at Frank Gore's stats.
Okay, Frank Gore. No, I'm not gonna put Frank Gore because he never had just an insane season.
He was
Like
always-
every season was pretty quality.
He's been
but he
old
never
for
had a
10 years.
Stud season.
Yeah.
Those are yeah.
He might have made the all-decade team last decade.
I mean, 2011, 1,200
He had
rushing yards, 8 touchdowns.
he always had good seasons.
12,000 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns. 13.
He just never had the
1,100 yards,
receiving
9
though.
touchdowns.
Like look at his receiving.
The
splits.
only time Jason looks at wide receiving, looks at receptions.
fair edge. Fair.
Oh god, that was a good one. But they're not like amazing, but
They're not amazing. He should have been honorable mention, maybe.
honorable mention
Maybe.
worthy at least. Get the man some love. Dude, he's so old.
but
I don't
yeah.
know how you play for. He's Frank Gore's played 14 seasons at running back,
And they've all been pretty good too.
and they've all been pretty good.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, so I guess we're going into off-season stuff.
We are, but
Next
quick
episode.
Super Bowl predictions.
Oh,
Saints, Ravens.
I was gonna say Saints win, but I've said that the last 2 years, and I've gotten horribly defeated.
I don't
No.
think Saints are winning.
Saints beat Ravens.
Ravens 49. Ravens over 49ers.
I'm going
Rematch.
Chiefs over
Really. Chiefs could win it.
Seahawks.
What?
Interesting.
Oh, Seahawks who just lost Christian Carson.
And got beast mode.
Old beast mode. Who probably didn't even
You
think he
just
was going to
touted
play
Frank
this season.
Gore, Andrew,
Well, Frank Gore's been
and
playing
Antonio Gates.
beast mode.
Andrew Saints.
I
are-
love beast mode.
Which one? Saints or?
And I go Saints over Ravens.
Really?
I honestly think the Saints will make it, but I don't want to pick them because if
I don't
they're
think
picked-
Saints are gonna.
they
Make it.
lose horribly.
I don't think Saints are gonna make it.
No, I think they can.
Patriots though. I would watch out for the
No.
Patriots. I think they're the second.
No.
I think
No,
they're the
get
third
out of here.
team.
No,
Third
they're
closest.
not going to.
Don't be surprised if the Patriots won.
I will.
I don't think anyone would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
They don't look good.
they look so bad. Brady looks horrible right now.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised.
How would you?
He looked pretty good against the Bills.
I get.
The Bills are a really good defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else that we need to
Yeah.
go over?
The Bills made Duck Hodges throw 2 picks in 1 quarter.
Yeah.
We all know how tough that is to do.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
All right.
yeah.
Well, that wraps
Oh,
up our
wait.
podcast.
Wait, I'll tell a story real quick.
All right, story time.
Story time with Andrew. Oh, so I have a little cousin who lives in Pittsburgh,
Okay.
and he texted his mom, or he talked to his mom, and he's like, "I want a Duck Hodges jersey." And so his mom talked to me, and she's like, "Well, is this a good idea?" I was like, "No, do not buy this kid a Duck Hodges jersey," because I was like, "He will suck." And he's gonna have this stupid jersey just lying around the bottom of his closet. I was like, buy him a TJ Watt jersey. Because that's a good
Ooh,
jersey.
I like that
And
actually.
so
Yeah.
that's like a good jersey to have. And so she did. And then she just texted me thanking me after she saw that Duck Hodges had his game last week with 4 interceptions. He had threw 2 picks in the first quarter of this game, and then got benched, and then had to go back in because the second string got hurt. But
And you're giving advice on and off the
good-
pod.
on and off in pod.
Well, guess we have to end it there.
But I
right?
saved this kid's dreams. My cousin.
I guess so. All right. Well, we will be back to you before the playoffs,
The real playoffs?
the real playoffs.
Yes.
With some
Probably.
more, we'll have some more stuff to go over.
yeah, for sure.
Maybe going in next, maybe fantasy, maybe not fantasy.
Maybe an early mock draft.
Maybe a really early mock draft. Yeah.
Extra early.
I don't know where Melvin Gordon would go though.
Yeah.
That'd be tough.
Little free agency outlook.
Yeah, true. Free agency outlook. All right. This is Jason, Andrew, and Simon, and we'll see you next week.